Good morning, everyone. How are you? I hope you are doing well. Today we are going to explain minor types of questions. Section 7.56, exclamatory question. The exclamatory question is a question in form. So in form, it is a question in which the operator precedes the subject, but is functionally like an exclamation. Like what? Like an exclamation. There is no question mark, okay? The most characteristic type is a negative yes, no question. We have two types, negative yes, no question and positive yes, no question. So we will shed light on a negative yes, no question with the falling instead of rising tone, because we know with yes, no question, always there is a rising tone at the end of the question, while with the exclamatory question, there will be a falling instead of rising intonation. Okay, hasn't she grown? Hasn't she grown? Hasn't she grown? Okay, wasn't a marvelous concert? Wasn't a marvelous concert? These, since it is exclamation, invite the listener's agreement to something. So we seek the listener's agreement on which the speaker has strongly positive feeling about it. Okay, now we are going to have a positive. This one is a negative. We start with negative. A positive yes, no question, also with a falling tone, is another but very informal. So if I ask exclamatory question with positive, this is informal way of expressing a strong positive conviction. Strong positive conviction. Okay. Am I hungry? Am I hungry? It means that why you ask such question? I'm hungry. Did he look annoyed? It means that he is annoyed. Did he look annoyed? Has she grown? Has she grown? It means that you ask whether she has grown or not. It's really she is grown or she has grown. Both operator and subject usually receive emphatic stress to show the surprise, exclamation. Okay. Now, the other section, section 7.57, rhetorical question. Rhetorical question. The rhetorical question is one which functions as a forceful statement. Please pay attention to this. Pay attention to this. More precisely, if the question is positive rhetorical question, it is like a strong negative assertion. So the relation is vice versa. The relation is opposite. So if the question is positive, the assertion is negative. If the question is negative, the assertion is positive. So more precisely, a positive rhetorical question is like a strong negative assertion, while a negative question is like a strong positive one. Let's tackle both. Let's tackle both. Positive. Is that a reason for disappear? Is that a reason for disappear? Surely that is not a reason to disappear. See, this is negative. Surely that is not a reason to disappear. Can anyone doubt the wisdom of this action? Can anyone doubt the wisdom of this action? Surely no one. This is positive. This is negative. No one can doubt the wisdom of this action. Okay. Now let's have the negative. Let's have the negative. Is no one going to defend me? No one. Is no one going to defend me? Surely there's someone is going to defend me. So I ask by negative to get a positive answer. Positive assertion. Okay. Unlike exclamatory questions, these rhetorical questions usually have the normal rising intonation. So they have the normal rising intonation of a yes, no question. There is also a rhetorical WH, which is equivalent to a statement in which the Q element is replaced by a negative element. It means that I'm asking positively. I'm asking positively, but the meaning is negative. So when I say, who knows? Who knows? It means nobody knows. Nobody knows. Or if I say, what difference does it make? What difference does it means that no difference. No difference. What difference does it make? What difference does it make? يعني من أقول شو الفرق? It seems that there is no difference. It seems that there is no difference. Again, the intonation is that of an ordinary WH question, except that a rising full tone is likely. A rising full tone is likely. Okay. Now we will move to command. We will move to command. Okay. Section 7.58. Commands without a subject in which it is a typical way. It is a typical way of commands. We begin with the most common category of command, that which differs from a statement in that. So the command differs from a statement in two ways. It has no subject. We all know that the command or imperative has no subject, no overt subject. And it has an imperative finite verb. So the verb is in the finite shape. It is in the base shape, the base form of the verb, without endings for number or tense. Otherwise, the close pattern of command show the same range and ordering of element as a statement, but exactly as a statement. Let's have the examples. SV, jump. One might ask, so where is the subject here? It says SV, but we see only V because the subject is implied. It is not clear. It means you jump. SVC, be reasonable, in which it is only verb and subject complement. It means you be reasonable. SVOA, put it on the table. It means you put it on the table. You put it on the table. The imperative verb, however, is severely restricted as to tense, aspect, and voice and modality. It means that there is no tense, no aspect. There is no tense distinction or perfect aspect, and only verb. Rarely does the progressive form. Progressive form, rarely. And pay attention to this. One might ask you a question. Do as required. Commands. Commands indicating the progressive form. Commands without a subject indicating the progressive form. This question might be given to you. This question might be given to you. Commands without a subject indicating the progressive form. So you have to say, be preparing the dinner when he comes in. Be preparing the dinner when he comes in. Okay. Also, a passive is equally rare. A passive is equally rare, except when the auxiliary is some verb other than be. Other than be, like get washed. Get washed. This is also, rare, except with this. Okay. Commands are apt to sound abrupt unless toned down by markers of politeness. So commands, sometimes they are connected with markers of politeness like please eat up your dinner. Shut the door, please. Sometimes we want to be more polite, not to be harsh. So we use the markers of politeness and we use please, please, please. Will you shut the door, please? Will you shut the door, please? I wonder if you would kindly shut the door. I wonder if you kindly shut the door. It is imperative, but it's very polite. Very polite. This note, please read it. Read this note, please. It is important. And now let's move to section 7.59, commands with a subject. And this is very important because typically we don't have commands with a subject. So this is a special case. It is implied in the meaning of a command that the omitted subject of the imperative verb is the second person pronoun you. We all know that. This is confirmed and this is clear by the occurrence of you as a subject of a following tag question. Be quiet, will you? See, so I use you as a pronoun with the tag. And by the occurrence of yourself. By the occurrence of yourself. Not like and of no other reflexive pronoun. So we use only yourself, but not any other reflexive pronoun, This is wrong. So we say behave yourself, but not behave himself. Behave yourself because we are talking about you. Behave yourself. Okay. There is, however, a type of command in which the subject you is retained. Bring it back. Differing from the subject of a finite verb and always carrying stress. You. So it carries stress. So if this is a normal statement, we never use be after you, right? We never use be. We said you are, right? We never say be. So be is a verb in the imperative form. And you, if it is imperative with a subject, it carries the stress. You, be quiet. You, be quiet. You, mind your own business and leave this to me. You, mind your business and leave this to me. These commands are usually admonitory in tone and frequently express strong irritation, زعاج. As such, they cannot naturally be combined with markers of politeness. ما نقدر نقول please because it expresses strong irritation. They expresses a strong irritation. So that's why commands with a subject, they express strong irritation and they never combined with markers of politeness, such as please. It never be there. We never use please with commands with a subject. So if I say, please, you be quiet, this is wrong. This is wrong. Since there is a subject, it expresses strong annoying or irritation. They must be used, however, in another way to single out by pointing. We point to two or more distinct addressees. You come here, Jack. And you go over there, Mary. A third person subject is also possible. Sometimes we use it. So we say, somebody open the door. Somebody open the door. So if a question, you have a question such as, do I require commands with a subject? Command with a subject expressing a third person, commands expressing a third person subject. Commands expressing a third person subject. You should say somebody, everybody, Jack and Susan, or whatever subject you like. Open this door. Now, in this, you can distinguish between the command with a subject and a regular statement. How? Because in regular statement, we never say somebody open this door. We usually say somebody opens this door. Because this is singular, subject singular, so we say opens the door. But since the verb is in the imperative form, it means that this is commands with a subject. So somebody open this door. Everybody shut their eyes. Jack and Susan, stand over there. Stand over there. Okay. One might ask a question. How can I distinguish this from vocative? From vocative, because as you know, vocative also, we might have a subject, a name, a vocative, the form of the vocative. We might say, Jack, play with me. So I'm calling Jack here, right? I'm calling Jack. So what is the difference between command with the subject and with the vocative? The difference is that with vocative, usually the vocative form takes different positions, either initially, medially, or finally. But with command with a subject, we usually takes the position of a subject because it is commands with a subject. This is one thing. The other thing is that with vocative, as we mentioned before, after the vocative form, we should add comma if it is initial position. If it is medial position, we put 2 commas, one before and one after the vocative form. If it is at the end or final position, we add the comma before the vocative form. While with the command with the subject, there is no comma at all. So in this, you can distinguish between command with a subject and vocative. Okay. It is easy to confuse the subject in these commands with a vocative noun phrase, as I mentioned now. Whereas the subject always precedes the verb, the vocative, as we saw earlier, is an element that can occur in final and medial as well as in initial positions in the sentence. Another difference is that the vocative, when initially placed, has a separate tone unit, typically a full rise. The subject merely receives ordinary word stress. Now, let's see the difference between these two. Vocative. Mary, comma, play on my side. Play on my side, Mary. See this comma? Okay. Imperative for the subject. Mary, play on my side. There is no comma. There is no comma. And I put stress here also. The distinctions of vocative and imperative subject is confirmed by the possibility of their co-occurrences. Jane, you listen to me. Jane, you listen to me. Jane and comma, you listen to me. Okay, I believe it is clear now. Now, section 7.60, commands with let. First person imperatives can be formed by preposing the verb let followed by a subject. In the objective case were relevant. So let us, not let we. Let us, let me, not let I. So it should be in the objective case, Let us all work hard. More usually, let's. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Command. Let me have a look. So I'm telling you to let me have a look. The same applies to the third person subjects. So sometimes I have third person subject. Let each man decide for himself. Do you see the verb here? The verb is on the imperative. The verb is on the imperative. Let each man, suppose now each man should decides, right? If it is a statement, but here it is command with let. command with let. Let each man decide for himself. If anyone shrinks from this action, let him speak now. Let him speak now. Him speak. See, speak. Okay. Now, section 7.61. Negative commands. Negative commands. Okay, negative commands. To negate the second and third person imperatives. Suppose I want to negate the second, in which it is you, and the third, in which we have anyone, for example, someone, for example, imperatives. Only one simple, simply, yani anyone, simply adds an initial dot. An initial dot. So you have commands like open some windows. Open some windows. You have command here. Now you want to negate the command. You want to negate the command. Simply you add don't and replace all the assertive form by non-assertive forms where necessary. Okay. Open some windows. As you see here, we have assertive form, some. So simply I add don't initially before the imperative verb, before the imperative before the imperative verb, and I say don't open. Now some should be changed into non-assertive form, any. Don't open any windows. You open the door. Don't you open the door. Don't you open the door. Maybe I request someone else. Don't you open the door. Someone open the door. Don't anyone open the door. I replaced someone by anyone. Clear? Okay. First person imperatives. First person imperatives, on the other hand, have two possibilities. You know what is the first person? First person in which it is I or we. And as I told you, we have to take it in the objective case. Objective case. So the first person imperatives have two possibilities. Have two possibilities if we want to negate it. If we want to negate it. So let's open the door. Let's open the door. There are two types of negation. Either we say let's, so we keep let's not open the door. Let's not open the door. Or as we did here, we put not initially. Don't, we put don't, let's open the door. And this is very informal and special British English. We usually use this, let's not open the door. But in British English and in informal speech, we use don't, let's open the door. And the second of these is available for the third person imperatives. Third person imperative. So I have a third person. So I can use it also, this second one, I can use it also for the third person imperatives. So don't let anyone fool himself that he can get away with it. Don't let anyone fool himself that he can get away with it. Okay. Now we have another type for imperatives. Another type for imperatives in section 7.62. Section 7.62. Persuasive imperatives. Persuasive imperatives. Persuasive commands. A persuasive or insistent imperative is created by the addition of do with a nuclear tone, with a nuclear tone before the main verb. It means that I'm going to bring do, and I raise my tone. I raise my tone before the main verb. Before the main verb. So I say, do have some more sherry. Do have, before reaching the main verb. Do have some more sherry. Do, let's go to the theater. Do, let's go to the theater. Okay. Now I want you to read this note about do, like don't. Please read it. It is very important. And see the example here. See the example here. This is a home duty. This is a home duty. Now, we are reaching the exclamation. We are reaching the exclamation. And because it is very important, I'm going to leave this section to the next lecture. We are going to stop here. I hope you benefit from what I say and what I discuss. I want you to return back to the recorder and to the video to listen again. And if there is any question, you can ask me. And we will meet in the next lecture, inshallah. So thank you very much and goodbye.